Chapter 5. And Hiram king of Tyre sent his servants unto Solomon, for he had heard that they had anointed him king in the room of his father. For Hiram was ever a lover of David. And Solomon sent to Hiram, saying, Thou knowest how that David my father could not build an house unto the name of the Lord his God, for the wars which were about him on every side, until the Lord put them under the soles of his feet. But now the Lord my God hath given me rest on every side, so that there is neither adversary nor evil occurrent. For behold, I propose to build an house unto the name of the Lord my God. And as the Lord spake unto David my father, saying, Thy son, whom I will set upon thy throne in thy room, he shall build an house unto my name. Now therefore command thou that they hew me cedar trees out of Lebanon. And my servants shall be with thy servants, and unto thee will I give hire for thy servants according to all that thou shalt appoint. For thou knowest that there is not among us any that can skill to hew timber like unto the Sidonians. And it came to pass, when Hiram heard the words of Solomon, that he rejoiced greatly, and said, Blessed be the Lord this day, which hath given unto David a wise son over this great people. And Hiram sent to Solomon, saying, I have considered the things which thou sentest to me for, and I will do all thy desire concerning timber of cedar and concerning timber of fir. My servant shall bring them down from Lebanon unto the sea, and I will convey them by sea in floats unto the place that thou shalt appoint me, and will cause them to be discharged there, that thou shalt receive them. And thou shalt accomplish my desire in giving food to my household. So Hiram gave Solomon cedar trees and fir trees according to all his desire. And Solomon gave Hiram 20,000 measures of wheat for food to his household, and 20 measures of pure oil. Thus gave Solomon to Hiram year by year. And the Lord gave Solomon wisdom, and he promised him, and there was peace between Hiram and Solomon. They two made a league together. And King Solomon raised a levy out of all Israel, and the levy was 30,000 men. And he sent them to Lebanon, 10,000 a month by courses. A month they were in Lebanon, and 2 months at home. And Adoniram was over the levy. And Solomon had 70,010 that bare burdens, and 80,000 hewers in the mountains, beside the chief of Solomon's officers, which were over the work, 3,300 which ruled over the people that wrought in the work. And the king commanded, and they brought great stones, costly stones, and hewed stones, to lay the foundation of the house. And Solomon's builders and Hiram's builders did hew them, and the stone squares. So they prepared timber and stones to build the house. Here we get a record of some of the expense of building or getting material and things together to build the temple. We see that King Hiram of Tyre, Tyre is up in what is now Lebanon, north of Jerusalem, north of Israel, and that Hiram had been a lover of David, so he sent some servants unto Solomon to help Solomon out. And Solomon sent King Tyre a request. He wanted cedar and fir to help build the tabernacle, or the temple. And he said to King Hiram, let me know what it is that you would like to have in order to have all that wood, and I will do it. And so they made a deal, and the deal was that year by year Solomon would send to Tyre 20,000 cores of wheat, which is 125,000 bushels, approximately 750,000 pounds, which is about half of what King Solomon used for his own table, which would be an amount approximately equal, should be, to what Hiram would set and use for his table, that is the supporting of all of his people. And it says 20 measures of beaten oil. And what we're talking about here is olive oil. And we don't think 20 measures is it, because 20 measures is a ridiculously small amount that one family might use in a year. We think it actually, the translation should be 20,000 cores of oil, which is roughly 1,000,000 gallons. of oil. And that would have been sent some at a time, because that was a huge amount of oil. And over time, that was the amount that was sent. This is one of the areas where the numbers could vary a little bit or vary a lot. But that's a much more common number for use in this circumstance. Then it talks about the levy. And the levy is the forced labor of the families in Israel. And it talks about basically what happened was the administrators were responsible for providing 30,000 men from the combined number from all 12 of the administrative districts. And 1 month in 3, 10,000 men would go to Lebanon to help Hiram's men in cutting down the trees. So that meant that every year, while they were cutting those trees, you would be in the mountains 4 months out of the year in rotation. 1 month, and then you'd have 2 months at home, and then another month and 2 months at home, etc., all the way through the year, cutting trees. That's that's a lot of work, and it's also a lot of effort and a lot of wood. And later on, we're going to find out that that was just the start. They had to have a huge amount of rock quarried in the mountains and packed to build the platform on which the temple was going to be built. And the Temple Mount, where it was built, really only had room for the threshing floor of Araunah on it, and that was only big enough for one room. All the rest of it was, some of it was hundreds of feet, almost straight down on each of 3 sides. And they had to build that up, so they had a huge platform on which to build the temple. Amazing, amazing amount of work. No machinery, just all human effort.